You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. All right, today's the day. Lowly rated Fox News is having their pathetic debate of really nobodies tonight in Milwaukee. And Fox News released something today that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard someone do in the news business, okay? I'm going to get to this in just a moment, but just let me give you a little background. I'm of the opinion that if you were writing a history of cable news, like in 50 years, the end of cable news and its relevancy was the firing of Tucker Carlson from Fox News, because immediately there was a mass exodus from Fox News. And, you know, they had ticked us off before and many people left Fox News, but a lot of people went back. And they went back because of Tucker. Then they fired Tucker, and there has been an exodus from Fox News like has never been seen in cable. And there's been these transitions in the news. It used to be newspapers, right? It was newspapers for the longest time. And then TV came in. And TV really became relevant during the Kennedy era because, you know, he was, you know, a younger guy for president, and all that Camelot stuff and everything. The Nixon-Kennedy debate, his assassination, television with President Kennedy became the dominant news, right? Television as a whole was network television during the Kennedy era. That's where news was broken because it could be faster and everything else. Newspapers were always behind. They had to write stories. They had to print them. There was no internet to email. Yeah. Sometimes reporters would have to call in on phones and dictate over the phone their stories to typists. And stories in the newspaper, if you had a photograph of an incident in the newspaper, if it was 3 to 5 days old, that was considered fresh, hot news. Right. Television news, the network news with the Kennedy era, in particular the assassination of President Kennedy. Remember, he was shot and died all live on television, right? Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather. So, and then cable news wiped out the network news during the first Iraq War in 1991. And there's a whole history of news that's going on here. And this latest thing today with Fox News is cable news is done. But anyway, prior to the Gulf War in 1991, the network broadcast cable news. A lot of you guys that weren't around then don't remember. Those nightly news anchors were like gods on Mount Olympus. It was only 25 minutes of news at 6:30 every night. And what they said was just the way it was. And, Walter Cronkite is responsible for President Carter losing to Ronald Reagan in 1980 because we had the American hostages in Iran, and Walter Cronkite ended his newscast every night. Day 333, America held hostage, right? Remember all that stuff? And and in the Gulf War in 1991, there was no Fox News or MSNBC. It was just CNN. And CNN was really not considered a credible news outlet, believe it or not. I mean, I know they're not now, but because they become fake news. But prior to the Gulf War, CNN was kind of like third rate, low budget, wasn't considered very credible or respected by the rest of the media. And they had reporters inside Baghdad that caught live the bombing of Baghdad in 1981. It was Bernard Schultz and others. Bernard Schultz, Peter Arnett, and there was a third one. I can't remember who the third one was. It could not have been Wolf Blitzer. Had to be someone else. By the way, our kitten Luna, you may hear her in the background. Our stray kitten that we took in is in heat.
Well, she's not really a kitten. She's about 9 months old.
Well, that's a kitten to me. It's under a year. She's in heat.
I don't think kittens can go into heat.
That's
what I'm saying. I think they have to be like a...
She's like a teenager.
Maybe,
She's like a teenager.
She's 9 months,
and
so this is probably her first bout of it. And she's been chirping and meowing for 3 days straight.
Yeah, and she's walking around the house now trying to tell all the tomcats in the neighborhood to come on over.
I was talking to Rome. She has like rescues and stuff.
Yeah.
She said, because you had said there's male cats outside of the house.
Absolutely.
And I said to her, how can that happen? She said, they can hear her. And, and she said, you would not believe how well their smell is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And they're all like circling the house.
It's worse than having a teenage daughter in the house. It's crazy. So you may hear Luna in the background. Yeah. She's in heat. All right. So anyway, back to this. So CNN had reporters in Baghdad when we bombed Baghdad in 1991. They covered it live on CNN, and everyone watched it. And I watched it, and it was absolutely amazing. And then they had people. They had people behind after the war began, and CNN was the only American. They may have been the only Western media, but CNN was the only American media that was in Baghdad behind enemy lines during the Gulf War in 1991. That was a big deal. Okay. And that's when they started making the nightly network broadcast news irrelevant. Then there was one other thing. The O.J. Simpson murder trial was carried live everywhere, but it was carried live on CNN. And that was what I call the golden age of radio, because I was on the radio then and it was crazy. And CNN, between Gulf War I and O.J., made the network news irrelevant. In fact, I got to tell you, I do not know the names of the 3 nightly news anchors. And
Tom Brokaw.
No, now.
Oh, now.
Now.
My mom watches that David Muir.
David Muir, he's ABC.
Him. Lester Holt.
Okay.
I don't know who's on CBS.
Exactly. And before...
What did your parents watch? Every night, my dad would put the news on at 6 o'clock. And that was it, 30 minutes of news. I can't remember. They were big in the Today Show.
We used to watch Tom Brokaw, Dan Rather.
Tom Brokaw.
But anyway, the very fact that we can't name the 3 network news anchors that are currently on tells you everything you need to know. Because cable news had dominated for a long time. And I know a lot of you were saying, well, I left cable news 5 or 10 years ago. Well, you're not a fair sample. Don't be offended, because this is a podcast. You're listening online to this, right? You're listening on a podcast platform or on YouTube or something. So you get all your information probably from the internet. But anyway, so cable news now with Tucker Carlson, what they have done is what the other ones didn't do. Newspapers didn't push people away. Broadcast nightly news didn't push people away. Just something new came along. Cable news, led by Fox News, has told the viewers, we don't want you. We don't want you watching. We don't want you supporting us. And we don't care if we have no viewers. So,
well, they've told MAGA viewers.
Well, that's what that's the majority of the country.
They're trying. Well, I understand that, but they think it's half the country.
No,
they're trying to romance a new set of viewers. They've pretty much given up on MAGA, or MAGA's given up on them.
Well, it's not, Kathy. This is the thing. It's the people that maybe MAGA people are half the country, but of the people that watch news or follow news or consume news, Trump supporters are probably 3/4 of the people that watch news or follow news. Right? I mean, you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that it's a losing strategy, and I think what's going to happen now, my prediction, there's 2 things I want to say about the debates. The first thing is I think Fox is probably very upset they've been elevating Vivek for the last year, and they're probably kicking themselves for allowing him to be on their network, even though I'm sure he paid for it, but who knows, because now he's going to beat DeSantis after tonight. DeSantis is going to be done. He's so bad at debating. And if Vivek is smart, this is what I think he's going to do, and he is smart, he's going to go after DeSantis, not Trump, obviously. He's going to go after DeSantis hard because he is so close to knocking him off that second place slot, and he's in his way. And that's how it works. So I think Fox is kicking themselves because they want DeSantis to win. Okay. Another thing about the debate, I think after this, because Trump is not showing up, I have noticed, I've seen a little bit of bits and pieces of Fox over the last few weeks. I don't sit and watch it for a long time, but I do flip around. And I've noticed they have they're bringing back their liberal commentators again. I'm not going to watch those people anyway. So I think after the debate, they're going to go full on trying to destroy Trump even more than ever. I think that they are going to prevent anybody on the network from making Trump look good. And I'm including Judge Jeanine and Gutfeld. And I think they will threaten them with their jobs indirectly if they promote him in any way, shape, or form, because they're going to be pissed. And after this, I think before they were teetering with Trump on a very, precarious precipice. They were kind of being nice to him, but not too much. And they were playing both sides a little bit. They tried to get him to come on the debate. They went into Mar-a-Lago and met with him a couple weeks ago. They were always kind of, going back and forth with this. It was hard sometimes to understand where their loyalties were. I think after this, it'll be full-blown anti-Trump level MSNBC.
Well, so let me get back to the debate.
They're pissed at him.
So Fox News released a list of rules involving their debate in Milwaukee tonight that is going to seal the fate of cable news, broadcast news, and television news. This debate tonight in Milwaukee is the final nail in the coffin of the relevancy of cable news. I'm going to go through these rules, and then I'll explain to you what this means. Okay, these are official rules that were put out by Fox News. And I'm reading from their memorandum that they've sent out to people like me who received this today. Fox News has secured exclusive media rights to the Fox News Republican primary debate with partners Young America's Foundation and Rumble, taking place and in Milwaukee, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they go into all of that. You are hereby advised to respect Fox News's exclusive rights to the debate by not broadcasting, transmitting, selling, licensing, giving, bartering, exchanging, or otherwise disseminating the debate or any portion thereof, regardless of whether Fox News supplied you the debate or if the debate excerpts were supplied to you by other sources. Permissions to use the debate is only granted if the following restrictions are adhered to. Okay, now let me stop there. A lot of legalese stuff, but this is all broadcast talk. Yeah. Okay. Now, what it sounds like in the beginning is you can't live stream the debate on another platform while it's on television. That's a normal thing, but that's not what they're saying. They've taken it a step further. I'm so glad they did this. I am so glad that they've done this. One, these are the conditions. There's 6 of them that Fox News has sent out for you to use clips, either video or audio, of tonight's debate. 1, an appropriate, unobstructed on-screen credit, courtesy of Fox News Channel, must appear in the upper left or right-hand corner of the screen during the entire debate excerpt, and the debate excerpt must be introduced with an audio credit. In a debate on the Fox News Channel, on radio, each excerpt must be introduced with the same audio credit in a debate on the Fox News Channel.
Okay, so what if you don't do this stuff?
I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, number 2.
Oh, my goodness.
During the 7-day period described in paragraph 4 below, you may not air more than a total amount of 3 minutes of excerpts from the debate in any one program, including video and audio. 3, the excerpt footage must be taped directly from Fox News' telecast or obtained directly from Fox News and may not be obtained from any other source, such as satellite or any form of transmission. Additionally, only excerpts that have been telecast by Fox News in their entirety may be used, meaning you can't take clips off a website or Twitter or something. 4, under no circumstances may an excerpt of the debate or portion thereof be used beyond the 7-day period beginning August 23rd at 11:01 p.m. Eastern Time and continuing through August 30th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. No archiving is permitted. 5, the debate excerpt may only appear in regularly scheduled network and local news programs in which news stories constitute the main feature of the program. 6, you may use the debate or excerpts thereof on the internet only by the way of video embedded functioning from foxnews.com's video player for as long as Fox News shall make the debate available on its video player. Okay, so those are the 6 conditions. Now let me explain to you what all this means. I'm so glad Fox News did this, and they saved me a lot of trouble too, I must tell you. What this means is no one can use clips of any kind from the Fox News debate the day after. Typically what happens when there's a presidential debate, and all the presidential debates are sponsored by networks, whether cable news or a network or a newspaper. And so what everybody in media does, radio, television, podcast, YouTube channels, Rumble channels, whatever you got going on, you take clips of the debate, you play the clip, and you talk about it. Well, Fox News has set up a thing where you can't do that. For example, every debate there ever is, the next day I play clips of them and we talk about them. Everybody does it on every program in the country the next day after every debate. You can't do that now. Every radio show, every podcast, every YouTube channel is archived online forever. So they said there's no archiving. So if you run the clips, your program is archived after 7 days later, you're in violation. So it's copyright infringement. So the next day, so this is what Fox News has done, and they're so stupid in their arrogance. This is what they sat around with Paul Ryan and these stupid jerk-offs and said to themselves, well, so many people get their news online the next day, we're going to make them watch the debate live so we get the ratings. They're in a panic. See, you never want to make a decision when you're suffering through a panic attack or anxiety, okay? Kathy will tell you this. I'll have a little panic attack over something, and I want to do this or do that, and Kathy will say, no, don't do it. Calm down. So they're in a panic that they're going to have the lowest ratings in the history of presidential debates. So they think they are forcing you to watch it live.
Nobody cares.
Because what I know a lot of you are planning on doing, which is like I play clips from The View sometimes, right? I never watch The View. I'll see a clip on Mediaite or Breitbart or Twitter, and I'll grab the audio and share it with you. That's what everybody does. And that's what I was going to do tomorrow morning for my show prep. I get up.
I think they know tonight's going to be a dud and a snooze fest, and there aren't going to be any clips worthy to play.
No,
so
that's
they're
not
doing
it.
a preemptive
That's
strike
not it.
here to try to get you to watch.
They're trying to force people to watch by saying, well, I can't get the clip. Now, so this is what they've done. No one's going to watch this debate tonight. Very low numbers, because President Trump's interview with Tucker Carlson on Tucker on Twitter is going to drop online at 9 p.m., which is when the debate starts. So everyone's going to be watching Trump, not the debate anyway. Okay. And what's going to happen tomorrow in media, now there'll be some people like CNN or MSNBC, but people like me that podcast, radio shows, YouTube channels, Rumble channels, all these things, no one's going to be talking about the debate because we can't play clips. So what are people going to do? They're going to be playing clips of the Trump interview with Tucker Carlson. So tomorrow, no one's going to be talking about the debate. Other than it was uneventful and lowly rated, and because you've got no clips.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want you to talk about the debate.
Oh, I don't agree with you.
Because they know it's going to suck. They don't want. I disagree with you on your assessment. They do not want people to analyze the debate and hammer Fox for the next week on how crappy it is and how boring it was and what a mistake it was. I think it's more about that than trying to get you to watch. They know nobody's going to watch, but they don't want people to take these moments and say, or show clips and be like, this was the most boring, horrible debate ever. Yeah. And they want to prevent people, I think, in my opinion, from doing that.
Well, we're going to disagree on that. You guys can let us know in the comments what you think. But see, the thing about presidential debates, they're supposed to – first off, there's supposed to be ratings booms for whatever outlet carries them. They're supposed to get big ratings burst from it. But the candidates are supposed to get a boost because people are talking about the debate the next day and maybe through the weekend. No one's going to be talking about this debate because we can't play clip. Fox will be talking about it, and MSNBC and CNN.
I think they want to control the messaging.
But
I think that's what's going on.
But the rest of us
control the discussion.
The rest of us are not going to talk about it because they are forbidding us from playing clips. And you know what? I'm glad that they are, because that means I don't have to watch the damn debate, and I don't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning and edit clips of the debate to play on the show tomorrow. I'm going to watch Trump tonight, and if I play any clips tomorrow, it'll be Trump clips with Tucker. And what they've done here, Fox News, by doing this, in their stupidity, in their anxiety, in their arrogance, and all of that combined, is they not only are signing the final death warrant of the relevancy of cable news and the mainstream corporate media, they're also doing something which I'm so glad they're participating in helping us do this. They're ending the significance of the presidential debate. We're not going to have presidential debates in the future. And this very well may be the last election where there are debates, okay? And I'm glad to see them go.
Well, I'm going to put a poll up in your group.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
On my YouTube channel.
I'm going to put the poll, do you think that DeSantis will get a slide or a bump tonight? I'm curious. And I did put a poll up. Remember on the last show we talked about Trump getting the mugshot, and I had said, I think I just saw on Twitter one of the Georgia state reps used his mugshot as his profile picture. Don't deny, embrace. I think, and I put on the question, and I had said on the show, I think Trump wants the mugshot because it'll be the most famous thing. But the mugshots I've seen look like regular driver's license photos. They're not holding up a placard or anything. Do you think Trump wants a mugshot taken? We've had 4,000 votes. 79% said yes. 21% said no. I'm kind of surprised at the result. Then I did another poll. We've had 2,500 votes. Are you watching the debate tonight or Tucker? 95% said Tucker. 5% said Fox.
Wow. 2,500 votes on that poll already? That's a new poll.
That's a new poll, so I'm going to put that up.
By the way, those polls, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, there's a community page, which is kind of like a social media page, on YouTube, and we put all kinds of things up there, including polls. Now,
I have breaking news real quick. The Russian plane carrying the Wagner boss, Yevgeny.
Oh, the guy that led the coup?
He's dead. He was on the plane.
Shocker. Putin
with
killed
10
him.
other people. So
Putin killed him.
That just happened 30 minutes ago.
Shock. His plane just coincidentally crashed, and he's dead.
The guy who led that coup for 24 hours or whatever.
Putin killed him.
Well, whatever. The plane crashed. Wagner chief, whatever, and 10 other people.
Yeah, we know who he is.
Their plane went down.
So
I can't pronounce those Russian
so Putin,
names.
Zelensky, that's Russian. You can pronounce that one.
Yeah, some
Zelensky,
I guess.
Ukraine
and
is
Putin
Russian.
Is easy, but this
so
guy is
Putin killed him. Now I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters. For those of you that don't know what Patreon is, you hear us mention it on the program. If you become a Patreon supporter, you become a patron of this show, right? You're supporting the show financially, and there are many perks and benefits to becoming a Patreon supporter, including commercial-free access to each and every podcast episode. Kathy and I do exclusive podcast episodes just for Patreon supporters. We put a lot of exclusive content for Patreon supporters, including videos, including all kinds of things, okay? Behind the scenes things that are going on, all kinds of stuff. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every podcast episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Rome, Wisconsin, Mike P., Carlos, Paulette, John, Arctic Fox, Heather, David, Richard, and Melissa. These are our top Patreon supporters. Oh, yes, we do.
As of yesterday, Maria in Texas.
Oh, Maria in Texas.
Yes,
welcome.
Thank you, Maria. Welcome to the top Patreon. She just signed up yesterday.
Okay, remind me to add her to the list.
I will.
Maria in Texas.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Maria. You're our newest top Patreon supporter. Now, if you would like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the episode description on whatever platform you're listening to us on, and there's a direct link on my website, briancraigshow.com.
The new book from author William Thien is now available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. The Dream Chip. In The Dream Chip, meet David O'Rourke, an intelligence agent turned uploader for the TimeLink Corporation, a futuristic technology company. His mission, capture the thoughts and memories of the deceased and store them in the Will of Memories, a protected vault of supercomputers. But there's more to the TimeLink Corporation than meets the eye. They're also the creator of the Common Council software program, which empowers citizens to have a say say in government decisions. This revolutionary system threatens the power of a group known as the Civocrats, who are determined to maintain their control at any cost. As tensions rise, their leader organizes a mob to attack the TimeLink Corporation. The fate of the future is hanging in the balance. The Dream Chip takes you on an adventure filled with technology, political intrigue, and the power of human memory. Order your copy right now on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. The Dream Chip from author William Thien, and uncover the secrets that lie within. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of fulfillment and manifest your wildest dreams? Then order your copy of the new book from author Brian C. Brown, Cracking the Code of Life: How to Unlock Your Door to Heaven on Earth. This empowering self-help book will revolutionize your approach to personal growth and manifestation, combining science, spirituality, and evidence-based techniques. This transformative guide gives you the keys to unlock your deepest desires. You'll discover an ancient, infallible 3-step process for receiving everything your heart desires. Cracking the Code of Life offers a unique perspective on unlocking your potential and manifesting your dreams. Are you ready to embrace the power within you and start living the life that you've dreamed of, the life that you deserve? Then order your copy of Cracking the Code of Life: How to Unlock Your Door to Heaven on Earth from author Brian C. Brown. Available on BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon, and the author's website, KingBrianWorld.com. Are you a caregiver or know someone who is? As the aging population grows and chronic illnesses rise, the demand for quality caregiving is soaring. From authors Shiloh Wolf and Naomi Wolf comes a must-read and comprehensive book that is your go-to guide to evidence-based practices for caregiver support. Implementing Success: Strategies for Effective Caregiving and Care Support. Available on BarnesandNoble.com. Covering the multifaceted world of caregiving, Implementing Success is filled with proven strategies to meet the diverse needs of caregivers. You'll discover how to assess caregiver requirements, develop core competencies like self-care and communication, and implement caregiver support programs. Drawing from extensive research, Implementing Success covers vital topics such as connecting caregivers to community resources, preventing burnout, and embracing continuous learning and improvement. This isn't just a textbook, it's also a bridge between empirical evidence, professional expertise, and caregiver perspectives. With contributions from diverse experts, Implementing Success underscores caregiving as a shared social responsibility, equipping readers with the tools to create nurturing, inclusive environments that uphold caregiver health and dignity. Are you ready to make a difference in the world of caregiving? Then order your copy of Implementing Success: Strategies to Effective Caregiving and Care Support from authors Shiloh Wolf and Naomi Wolf on BarnesandNoble.com.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Okay, something very strange and interesting happened with the Trump campaign in Milwaukee. Okay. And I know I've been getting comments from people. Oh, I'm going to watch the debate on so-and-so's YouTube channel. So no, they're not going to. You can't carry the debate. I was very surprised that the debate made a deal with Rumble to carry it, but the Republican Party did that. But no, anybody who carries the debate other than the authorized people are in Fox News. You know what I think Fox News may be trying to do? Just to finish up on this, then I want to move on because something interesting and strange and bizarre has happened with the Trump campaign in Milwaukee that I want to go through. This is interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it. But maybe Fox News is trying to get a lot of conservatives in trouble, right? By playing clips and stuff. Because, you know, this bit of rules that they sent out, they didn't send them to everybody. They handed them to a few people, and they've quietly been circulated among people in this community that we're in, like podcasters and stuff.
Do you think tonight the debate is I think they're going to try to do the strategy of not talking about Trump at all? Or do you think it's going to be all about Trump? Which strategy?
It's going to be one or the other.
Because I'm sure they're all meeting ahead of time with Fox. I think it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be a complete ignoring of Trump, like as if he doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
or all about Trump. If you were them, what strategy would you do, or what do you think they're going to do? I think they're going to try to completely ignore Trump.
If I were doing it,
I really do.
First off, I would cancel it without Trump.
But if you were with Fox, if you were like Paul Ryan,
it would be all about Trump.
See, I think they're going to take the opposite approach.
Yeah. No one cares what their ideas on Ukraine policy are.
I know, but I'm saying from their perspective,
they're insane.
I think, my personal opinion, I could be wrong. Tonight, I was thinking about it. I think they are going to try to have a debate that is sans Trump. No Trump, no mention of him. It's not going to happen. But I think they're going to go in with that thinking of, let's totally ignore this guy. It would be a stupid idea. But I think it's going to be one or the other. It's either going to be attacking Trump, when you're at 1% or whatever, is stupid. The purpose of debates is to reposition yourself in the polls, okay? And if you go after somebody and are successful, you can give yourself a bump and knock them down. And
if they're there.
If they're there
and you
I'm
best
saying
them.
Trump's not part of that equation.
Debates are duels.
He's too far ahead.
Yeah.
This is between these losers tonight. And there's some people in there I've never even really heard of, like the governor of North Dakota. I didn't even know he was going to. Now, he might not be there. They said he hurt himself. How convenient. Yeah. I think, like I said, Vivek is going to hammer on DeSantis. He's not going to attack Trump and try to knock him because he's just breathing down his neck. Chris Christie is there, we know, just to attack Trump, but Trump won't be there. So what is it going to look like to attack somebody that's not there? I think it's going to make them look pathetic. I don't think it makes Trump look pathetic. I think it's going to make them look pathetic to attack someone that's just not even they're not even worth his time.
Well, you know what,
I think it's a bold, epic move for him not to go.
Whatever happens at the Republican debate tonight, very few people are going to know about it because few people are going to watch it, and none of us are allowed to play clips of it the next day.
What's a better move on Trump's behalf? Inviting Kathleen Willey and Juanita Broderick to the Hillary Clinton debate, and Paula Jones, or avoiding this debate, which is a better debate.
Oh, that thing with Paula Jones and Juanita Broderick,
that was
the best.
Move,
that was the best. So let me get into this. This is very strange thing that the Trump campaign did last night in Milwaukee. Okay, listen to this. This is in Mediaite. It's also been reported in Politico and other places. A dinner for members of the press was hosted by the Trump campaign Tuesday evening. And the dinner, and wait till you hear some of the people that were at this dinner that was hosted by the Trump campaign. This is crazy. The dinner was geared towards ripping Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And of course, the dinner is being criticized because the Trump campaign did it. Politico broke this morning, and this is what Politico wrote.
Yeah.
Team Trump whining and dining with a number of top reporters at a steakhouse called Rare. That's a great name for a steakhouse. And passing out pudding snack packs. Of course, it's a reference to DeSantis' pudding finger story.
Oh, my gosh.
As well as handing out debate bingo cards to troll the Florida governor. Squares included dismisses polls, wipe snot, red ears, DeSantis, flip-flops on Social Security, woke, pudding mentions, and there's photographs of it. But here's who was there. Now, this was a dinner hosted at a steakhouse by the Trump campaign, right? For the press.
Did they serve Trump steaks?
Among reporters who attended was Dana Bash from CNN. And isn't that something?
That's weird.
And a bunch of other people who aren't so famous, but I'm very surprised. And there's a whole bunch of people here. Some I've heard of. Christian Welker, she's on NBC. She's the one who spent Christmas Eve night with the Obamas at the White House when he was president. She's supposed to take over Meet the Press.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. When is that happening?
I don't know. It seems to be endless. He's still on that.
He's got to write out his contract.
The notable collection of Fourth Estaters spent debate nights Eve with Trump's campaign staffers, even though President Trump is skipping the debate. They drew fire for both conservative and progressive voices on social media, and people are pretty upset at them. I'm very surprised. I'm not surprised that the Trump campaign did that. I'm surprised that these liberal reporters went to it, to a Trump campaign hosted dinner at a steakhouse. Do they just want to have free food?
I don't know. That's bizarre.
I don't know. Now, Ramaswamy has been getting a lot of coverage for some talk on 9/11. Let me read through a little list and we'll talk about this.
Yeah, what is that about?
Let me read this story. It'll tell us a little bit.
Yeah.
Vivek Ramaswamy has faced criticism after suggesting truth about 9/11 is still unknown during an interview. He's been heavily criticized for suggesting that U.S. federal agents may have been on planes involved in the September 11th terrorist attacks. The 38-year-old upstart millennial candidate who was seeking high office suddenly veered towards the controversial conversation after discussing the J6 insurrection in an interview. I'm reading from a liberal website, they call it an insurrection. Ramaswamy said he questioned the U.S. government's reporting on the number of federal agents involved in the 9/11 attack, telling The Atlantic, I think it's legitimate to say how many police, how many federal agents were on the planes that hit the Twin Towers. Maybe the answer is zero. It probably is zero for all I know, but I have reason to think it could be other than zero. And he goes back and forth and he, denies that he said it exactly like that, says it was taken out of context.
Yeah, I don't know what he's driving at here.
Let me tell you this, okay? 9/11 was just a god-awful time, you guys, and I know most of you remember it, and it was crazy. More Americans died on 9/11 than at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And 9/11 was worse in many ways because they were civilian deaths. At least Pearl Harbor was a military target, and most everybody was
Brian,
in the service.
First responders are still dying from the lung diseases.
And New Yorkers that are just there, yeah.
I saw a commercial for the Tunnel to Towers, which we donate to, and the guy was on there with Rob Lowe, and he said more first responders have died after 9/11 as a result of cleaning up than died during it.
That's
first
right.
responders.
And there were a lot of 9/11 truthers, after 9/11 for years and years and years, and I never entertained any of that.
No.
And I just could not accept that our country could knowingly allow something like that to happen. And then I saw how George Bush not only lied about weapons of mass destruction, knowingly lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and God knows how many people killed in the Middle East for that lie. But I've seen how George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, through his surrogate daughter, the demon seed, his daughter, Liz Cheney with the hearings.
The demon seed.
I've seen how the Cheneys.
She has his face.
And the Bushes have behaved under Trump and everything.
Yeah.
And I do question what the government knew about 9/11 in advance. And it doesn't mean that I think we attacked ourselves. It doesn't mean I think that the Bushes let it happen or knew in advance. But I think the distrust we have of look what the government's doing to Trump right now with these prosecutions. So what is he
insinuating, that some of the hijackers were federal agents?
Well, I don't think
that they just happened to be on. I don't get. What is he? Why would a federal agent knowingly put himself on a plane that's going to crash? Or is he saying that the hijackers were actually federal agents like Ray Epps?
I don't know. I don't know
the point of that, or it was so long ago.
I don't know
how old was he when that happened? 10?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he means. I don't think he does either. I think Ramaswamy just says stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is fair to question what the government knew about 9/11 now, when we've seen how the Bushes, the Cheneys, and the government react and how they manipulate and how they don't like freedom and what they're doing to President Trump. We should question everything about the government. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't like Ramaswamy, but I like how they're trying to cancel him now. See, what this is what's happened with Ramaswamy.
Well, because he's about to surpass DeSantis.
The media have been pumping up Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to get rid of him.
Yep.
So they're trying to make him a 9/11 truther. They're trying to portray him as a lunatic.
Fox News helped create this guy. They helped elevate. He was always on.
They're trying to turn him into an Alex Jones.
And now, like I said, they're probably pissed because he's going to surpass DeSantis after tonight.
Yeah,
he's definitely going to out-debate him. DeSantis is a horrible debater.
Yes.
We've seen him debate multiple times.
Listen,
he's god-awful.
Our cat Luna, who's 9 months old in heat, could out-debate Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, he's awful.
He's awful.
It's like a deer in the headlights.
But they're trying to paint Ramaswamy as an Alex Jones type and get him out of the way because he's getting popular and they don't want him to be popular.
So they want to make him like a kook.
Yeah. That's right. And I don't think there were federal agents on the planes because I don't think they'd be kamikazes.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So I don't know exactly what that means unless he means that the hijackers were unknowingly working for the federal government. Maybe he's implying that. I don't know.
Or that they were federal agents that were really hardcore.
Yeah.
believed in what they were doing.
I don't know what he's saying, but I do know this. There's one thing about 9/11 that has always gotten me thinking. Okay, and I've talked about this once or twice, but not for a long time because 9/11 doesn't come up too much anymore. But James Woods, who we all love, everybody loves James Woods,
this
right?
is an amazing story.
James Woods was on the O'Reilly Factor.
Yep.
And I don't know how long after 9/11 this was. It's been so many years, I can't remember. But he was on the O'Reilly Factor, and he had, prior to 9/11, James Woods had an experience. He was on a plane with Muhammad Atta.
Yep.
Muhammad Atta, the ringleader of 9/11. James Woods was on a plane with Muhammad Atta. He didn't know who Muhammad Atta was, or it was Muhammad Atta at the time. He found out after 9/11 when he saw his picture all over television. But he was on a flight somewhere, James Woods, and he told this entire story in detail to Bill O'Reilly on the O'Reilly Factor on Fox News way back when. And he said Muhammad Atta and other Muslims were on a flight with him, and they were doing a dry run for hijacking an airplane. And he said it was very obvious what they were doing. It scared him. He said when the plane landed, he called the FBI.
I wonder what they were doing.
Yeah, they were rehearsing. It was a dry run for an attack.
Maybe checking their watches a lot, or
I don't know, but he said it was an obvious practice run for a hijack. So James Woods said when the plane landed, he called the FBI. Of course, this is before 9/11.
Right.
They came to his house in Los Angeles, the FBI, and they interviewed James Woods, and they didn't do anything about it. And they knew who was on the plane, and he said he was 100% positive it was Muhammad Atta.
By the way, James Woods went to MIT. He's extremely,
isn't that amazing?
Extremely intelligent, and he also at the time was like at the height of his career. I mean, I love him. He's one of my favorite actors. But when this happened, he hasn't really been. He was one of the producers of the Oppenheimer movie. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
But he was like at the height of his career when this happened, or putting out a lot of movies and stuff. And so he was obviously a credible person. He wasn't some kook. And he had said that he, like you said, he noticed very suspicious activity, and it made him very nervous. And like you said, he called the Secret Service. They came to his house. FBI, and they just totally blew it off. And this was like a month or two before.
But here's the thing, Kathy. They knew who was on the plane, and he said he's 100% positive it was Muhammad Atta.
Oh, I believe him.
And they still let these guys fly. So when people talk about a conspiracy around 9/11, and sometimes people get a little kooky about what they say. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes that's a little too far out. But I always think about this story that James Woods told me. And you look at how the FBI have behaved around Trump and people in the Trump administration, and you got to ask yourself, why did they not go and pick up Muhammad Atta? After, James Woods, as Kathy said, at this time, he was at the top of his game, worldwide famous and very credible, well-respected actor and big celebrity. FBI goes to his house. You think he's not some lunatic. They would take him serious, and they didn't. Or maybe they did and just purposely didn't do anything about it. We'll never know.
It's either a conspiracy, incompetence, or a combination, one or the other. You know what I mean? It could have just been incompetence, and they just blew it off, and we're like, whatever. This just doesn't make sense. Maybe they looked into it a little bit, but I don't know. And those guys they were all living in Florida at the time. I think they were living in Boca and taking classes. There's a big flight school here, and they were taking classes here too. That was just a horrible thing. That changed flying forever, as you guys know. It changed everything with
it
how
sure
you
did.
fly. Before that, you could just hand your ticket to somebody else, and they could go in your place. I mean, I remember doing that as a kid. My parents would buy a ticket. They couldn't go. They'd give it to the friend.
Sometimes what people used to do, some of you remember this.
It was really
sometimes
lax.
you could buy tickets from people in the newspaper. People would have airline tickets, and they were like scalpers, and they couldn't go, or maybe they never intended on going. And then they would run an ad in the classified section in the newspaper. Oh, I got a ticket to LA for $400. You can buy. And you could call them up, meet them, and get the ticket and fly. Yeah. Nobody cared. But the story with James Woods, I'll never forget that story.
I wonder if you can get that interview on YouTube.
I've looked for it, and I've not been able to find it. If anybody can find that interview, send it to me, and I'll gladly share it with you. All right, we're going to take our last break and be right back.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one, get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way, too.
Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. Are you searching for exceptional and captivating artwork for your space? Look no further than Canvas Crafts Gallery on Etsy. At Canvas Crafts Gallery, you'll discover an array of astonishing digital art that's available as posters, canvases, acrylic prints, aluminum prints, phone cases, and more. From cat lovers to 80s enthusiasts, science fiction buffs to animal lovers, Canvas Crafts Gallery has something for everyone. Experience the allure of original art that's a perfect fit for your home, office, or anywhere else. Visit Canvas Crafts Gallery on Etsy right now at etsy.com/shop/Canvas Crafts Gallery. Browse the collection. You will be impressed. Etsy.com/shop/Canvas Crafts Gallery. You'll find great gifts too. Start shopping right now. Etsy.com/shop/Canvas Crafts Gallery. From author Gary L. Bausch comes the inspiring book, Never Waste a Perfectly Good Terminal Disease, available on Amazon. This heartfelt book uplifts individuals facing the challenges of Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS, and anyone dealing with a serious, incurable illness or debilitating condition. Filled with hope and encouragement, it guides readers to embrace practical daily living with joy and cherish the present moment. By emphasizing the strength of faith, the book shows that hope can triumph over personal power when dealing with severe disease. Living under the protective wing of God's strength, assurance, and hope, find fulfillment and purpose even in the face of adversity. Order your copy of Never Waste a Perfectly Good Terminal Disease from author Gary L. Bausch on Amazon and discover a beacon of hope and strength for those facing life's greatest challenges. Parents and grandparents, are you looking for the perfect children's gift for Christmas, a birthday, or any other occasion? Then check out the great STEM toy, B-Blocks Building Blocks, available in the B-Blocks store on Amazon. The B-Blocks Building Blocks come in two sets, one with 250 pieces, the other with 500 pieces. The more you have, the more you can create. B-Blocks Building Blocks will ignite your little one's creativity. They'll discover a world of colors, shapes, and designs. They'll learn, play, and create with the 8 vibrant colors, and it's educational too. From enhancing motor skills to exploring basic geometry, as well as architecture, B-Blocks Building Blocks isn't just fun, but it's a powerful learning tool. And guess what? They click securely together. The B-Blocks Building Block set stands out. It's perfect for both boys and girls. It's a gift that they will cherish for years to come. B-Blocks Building Blocks, available in the B-Blocks store on Amazon. The perfect gift for your child for any occasion. B-Blocks Building Blocks, because every child deserves the best. Available only in the B-Blocks store on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and search B-Blocks. BEBLOX. Order yours right now.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. President Trump, he said he'll proudly be arrested tomorrow in Georgia.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he's
scary.
I think his attitude, I don't know if it's one I would take, but I believe that he is doing it with pride because he sees himself, like you've said, as a political prisoner. Well, not yet a prisoner, but a political target. And he's him and everybody there. And I think this mugshot thing is going to be a big mistake. It'll help him for sure. And you're going to see it now. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts selling merch in his official Trump store. Maybe he'll go like Kim Kardashian and take a glam squad with him to do his hair and makeup before the picture. Did you see she did that? She went and got her driver's license and brought a hairdresser and makeup artist. Ugh,
Yeah.
she is just the worst. But seriously, I wonder if Trump will be wearing his signature red tie with the blue jacket what is he going to be wearing? I bet that's what he'll be wearing in the picture. And do you think, here's the big question, will he be smiling or will he be serious?
Well,
that's an interesting question
This is something I wanted to throw out to you guys, okay? And this is I am sure other people are going to ask this question between now and tomorrow when Trump surrenders himself, okay? But I've been thinking about this all week. So they have set Trump's bail at $200,000, which is pocket change for President Trump, right? What if Trump doesn't post bail? He doesn't have to.
Dan Bongino said he shouldn't.
Dan Bongino said he should not post bail?
Dan Bongino, I retweeted it on his show, said Trump should not post bail, but then he go to jail.
Well,
that's not a good idea. They can keep him in there forever.
No. You can post bail anytime. But what
he said he shouldn't do it.
What if Donald Trump does not post bail and see other people are thinking about this? And I think Dan Bongino is probably thinking what I'm thinking, that the image of having a president of the United States in a jail cell, he could always post bail Friday morning, sitting in a jail cell for even one night, I think would make a bold and important statement as to how out of control our government has gotten.
Yeah.
And
you think they would take a picture of him in the jail cell, though, or would he have somebody take it? This is not like this is a regular jail, and he'd have to be with the Secret Service.
Yeah.
But they might not let him take that picture, or they might say do it.
They got cameras. The Secret Service have cell phones in their pockets. They could snap a picture. They could take a picture.
It's just crazy.
Well, I think Dan Bongino said he shouldn't post bail.
That's right.
Okay. Well,
let me see if I can find that audio for you.
Well, I don't want to play the audio, but the great minds think alike, because I think he should not post bail either. I think that President Trump should not post bail, and he should sit in a jail cell for one night, and then Friday morning post bail and get released. And I think a photograph of him, which would be taken because he would be with the United States Secret Service. I think a photograph of a president of the United States being held as a political prisoner by the Democrat Party, because Fani Willis is part of the Democrat Party machine. She may be a local county official, but she's hooked up with the national people, okay, to pull something off like this big. You know, I think that would be an image that the American people need to see. You know, a lot of times, I talk about this sometimes, things happen, and until people see it like on television or see video of it, it's not real to them.
Yeah, the visual.
And the visual of President Trump in a jail cell in Fulton County, Georgia, I think would be absolutely amazing. You know, what's going on here, and if they had him in a jail cell, I know liberals would high five and think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to the country and everything, but these are sick, twisted people, and they're a minority. And I think not posting. What do you think, Kathy? President Trump not posting bail until Friday.
So he would turn himself in and spend the night in jail,
and post bail Friday morning.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. To be honest,
I don't think any of this should be happening.
No.
Okay. But
I don't think Trump's going to do that.
Kathy, I would not be surprised. President Trump, let me tell you, President Trump, one of the things, it's probably
unless he told Bongino he's going to do it, and Bongino said that because of it.
Kathy, I didn't know Bongino said. I didn't listen to Bongino today, and I was thinking the same
he's
thing.
Friends with Trump. What I'm saying is, maybe Trump told him to say that on his show to put it out there and kind of see the feedback. It's like Trump does like a focus group.
Well, it's possible. You know, President Trump, probably what his greatest skill is media messaging, media manipulation, and getting headlines and things like this.
And you know he has people that have platforms say things on his behalf. So maybe I could be wrong, but maybe he mentioned that to him, and maybe they discussed it. And that's why Bongino brought it up, to kind of put it out there ahead of time to get people talking about it. I mean, you know, that's how Trump, he likes to, like you said, manipulate things and get it in the news cycle, get people talking about it. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, that would be crazy if he did that on his own and decided, I'm going to stay one night and to show the American people, and it would be, like you said, very, very powerful, which would be a more impressive photo. And I don't mean impressive necessarily like good or bad or whatever, just, leaving an impression on you. The mugshot or the shot of Trump in jail? I think the jail would be more.
I'll tell you where I got.
What do you think?
I'll tell you where I got the idea about him spending one night in jail and posting bail on Friday. Was I saw the other day on Twitter, someone had posted the picture of Brandon Straka, from the Walk Away movement. Remember he went to CPAC,
right?
And he did this art thing where he was in a jail cell, at CPAC.
I remember.
And I saw that the other day, and I started thinking about, that was pretty powerful. Because I remember I watched that, and when Brandon Straka did that at CPAC, I was watching it, and it was really awful.
Yeah.
And I was, because he's a political prisoner. And then I started thinking, seeing a president of the United States in a jail cell, what kind of emotional impact would that have on the country?
I think it would have a huge impact. I think for the most part, it would be very shocking to most people. And I would think that it would sway most people in Trump's favor. Of course, radical liberals are going to love it.
Probably Rachel Maddow.
Print it up and put it on their fridge and have it all posted all over their house. But I think for most Americans, it would be a very jarring visual to see and upsetting.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. So we'll see. Sometimes it's hard to gauge what Trump's going to do, and he has been not as out there as he was when he first ran. Obviously, he's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of balls in the air and things he's dealing with that he didn't have to deal with before. I mean, he has so many things happening and legal issues, and I mean, I don't know how the guy does it, juggling all of this. But he's amazing,
crazy.
He doesn't seem to worry, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. But what do you think? Which picture to you would be the most jarring?
Jail cell.
I think so too.
Jail cell. And I don't mean a holding room. I mean a jail cell. I think
I think it would really turn the table.
What you
for
said,
him.
Kathy, could be Team Trump, that's the campaign people. They're very smart. They've got people like Peter Navarro working for them, okay? He was a PhD, a doctor. These are very brilliant people.
I love Peter Navarro. He's brilliant.
Oh, I love him.
He's awesome.
So they've got very smart people. And you might be onto something that the Trump campaign might have reached out to Bongino to talk about this and see what reaction is. Well, I'll tell you, I like the idea of President Trump spending one night in jail just so people can feel because I'll tell you, when Brandon Straka, I showed this on online, when Brandon Straka did that what do you call that kind of art? Performance art.
Performance art.
When Brandon Straka did this performance art at CPAC, he was in an orange jumpsuit, barefoot, like he was in his cell, and he just sat there in a mock-up of his
People were crying.
J6 cell, and it was emotional to watch it. It was very powerful.
Yeah.
And that was performance art. It wasn't real. He was reenacting his experience.
Right.
So to see President Trump held in a cell for one night, for people to see a photograph, maybe video of that. I think people need to see this. What's going on with these? Listen, Democrats are lowlives. They started the Civil War.
Yeah.
They enslaved black people. The Democrats put Americans of Japanese descent in concentration camps during the Second World War.
They love control.
The Democrats lynched black people. The Democrats did medical experiments on black people, the Tuskegee experiments. Right. The Democrats, frankly,
I don't know why black people love them so much. They've done nothing but hurt their people. They got them on welfare. They destroyed the family. I don't get it. Look how they treat them in the urban cities where they live. I don't understand it.
The Democrats gave us the Vietnam War. Everything that this country has ever done that was a lie or wrong, except WMDs in Iraq, but everything else, the Democrats have done it. Anything that liberals tell you America needs to apologize for was brought to you by the Democrat Party.
Yeah, they're the ones telling you to apologize.
So what? Yeah, exactly, for what they did.
I think Trump,
So what they're doing right now against President Trump, these 4 indictments and these arrests, I think that it's so shocking that because in the media, what they're saying is, oh, it's getting boring now. Another indictment, another arrest. No, it's not. I think it's not. I think it's so shocking that people aren't numb to it. They're in shock, and it hasn't soaked in that they've arrested. This will be the fourth time tomorrow, a president of the United States. And seeing President Trump in a jail cell, I think would make it real for people. And it would be a very, very powerful statement. So I would like him. I'm going to support whatever President Trump does,
Right,
always. Okay, I'm never going to disagree, criticize, or Monday morning quarterback anything President Trump ever does, because he knows what he's doing. However, I think spending one night in the Fulton County Jail, the one with the rats in it and all this stuff, I think that would be powerful.
Well, I said earlier, there's a way to handle things. You either don't deny, embrace. And when you do that, then you own it. They don't own you. You own it then. And I think if Trump went down there like a boss and wore his red tie, of course, if he went into the jail cell, the problem is they'd put him in the orange suit. That's the only thing. They wouldn't let him stay in his clothes. He'd have to be cavity searched and all that stuff.
No.
I mean,
they wouldn't have to do all that.
You don't know that.
Not for.
I don't know. They might give him the full treatment if they actually put him in the jail cell.
Not for an overnight lockup.
But I think that his attitude of embracing this and facing it head on is a smart attitude, instead of constantly defending himself, which he shouldn't have to do, but instead saying, I'm going to go full throttle and accept this. It's awful, but I'm going to let the American people see what I'm going through, and I'm not going to hide anything from people. I'm going to right out front, let everybody see what's happening, and I think that's the right strategy for him.
Now, guys, I want to tell you about the My Pillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0. It will change your life. Kathy and I, we've been sleeping on the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper for, I don't know, a couple years now. Mm-hmm. The new one, the 2.0, is a major upgrade on the original. It has the cooling technology in it. And I tell people about this because I know you'll remember. You guys, most of you are old enough to remember when mattresses were two-sided. And the way mattresses worked is your mattress, because everybody sleeps in the same position most of the time every night. So you know, your mattress gets uneven, it gets lumpy, you have and all that stuff. And what we used to do is flip our mattress over, and then you have like a brand new mattress, and you do that like once a year, and mattresses lasted forever. And the mattress companies realized they weren't selling as many mattresses as they could, so they don't have two-sided mattresses anymore. They're almost like a box spring underneath on mattresses now. It's a joke. So, so if you have a mattress that's lumpy, bumpy, maybe you've been sleeping on one part of it and you think you need a new one, mattresses are expensive.
Especially now.
Oh my goodness. We had to buy a new mattress a couple years ago. I could not believe how much the mattress was. Don't get a new mattress. Get the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper 2.0. It's 40% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And like everything Mike Lindell makes, it's very high quality. You guys know how great the My Pillow products are. And when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, remember 40% off the mattress topper. You can use our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout on all the specials at mypillow.com, okay? And when you do that, you are supporting this program and all the content I bring you. And your support through all of my content, the morning show, the podcast, my YouTube channel and everything, Mike Lindell personally knows this because I've talked to him about this. I've talked to his immediate staff, his secretaries, his assistants, his marketing people. They are so impressed with the response from this audience for My Pillow. In fact, we've had what I believe is the largest response to My Pillow from a show, from a program that's not like one of these nationally known celebrities. Like Hannity and those guys are so famous, But at the level that we have right now, I think we've had the largest response anyone has ever had. They are so blown away, and I'm in regular contact weekly with Mike Lindell in his office, okay? And again, it's promo code Kane at checkout. You can take advantage of all the specials there. And the My Pillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology, just like the pillows, 40% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Well, listen, guys, we're out of time for today, but let us know in the comments what you think about all the things we talked about. Should Trump not post bail and spend a night in jail? What do you think about these rules we talked about in the first segment that Fox has put in so no one's going to talk about the debate the morning after?
And should he smile or not smile in the mugshot? I put that as a poll question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys might think that's silly, but I'm really curious what you think he's going to do. I mean, I wish there was no mugshot at all, but it's going to happen.
Smiling mugshots
should it be
are
smiling
a
or serious?
Smiling mugshots are a risk. Some people smile in mugshots and it looks cool.
I think he'll be serious.
I think he'll be serious because it's a serious thing.
Right. I think he'll be serious. It's a serious matter. But I think that's what he'll do.
Well, listen, we're out of time, but we will be back next time. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll talk to you next time.